I have several friends of mine who working with photogrammetry professionally. Actually, I want to show you. They're doing some amazing stuff. Do you know what is Sketchfab? Like Sketchfab is not a database, like a catalog of 3D models. You can upload any 3D model there. You can also like view 3D models that were uploaded from different people, and then some of them you can buy, some of them are free, you can download and play. So sometimes for like digital experience, if you need a free 3D model, you can actually go to Sketchfab and search for, give me something, like what do we need to have? What do we need to search? What? Sock, a sock, okay. Is it like this? No? Yeah. So we have the socks, and you can see some of them are not for free, but if you will click on downloadable, you will also see that some are without prices and with this like small icon that you can download. So, like, I don't know which one. This one works. You can go there. You can actually see the wireframe, see the materials, all other stuff. It have a beautiful viewer. Actually, it have an application on phone, and you can play with it in augmented reality, and you can do a lot just with your phone. Let me show you what I mean. What do we want to see in the space here in MMZ? A sock? Why not? Like we can. Let me share a screen. Sketch. Fab. So again, searching for anything? Duck, okay. Here are some amazing ducks. Some of them are so cute, like this one. Cute flower duck. This is a title of my next music band. So up right you see the cube icon. Is it an Apple standard? Well, this is quite common icon for augmented reality. So if I click on it, it opens the camera and allows me to scan the surface to place a 3D model there. Sometimes need time to load the 3D model. Move your device around to find a flat surface. Well, this like surfaces with mirroring, it doesn't work so well. So if it should be working good on this type of surface. No, not yet. Oh yeah, here it is. And let's click. Right. Here. Okay. And you can like play with it in scale, rotate and stuff. Do a lot. And imagine like you can edit it into a play if you want to. So and you can play with the 3D models from such a huge amount of artists all over the world. Oh my, I just want to spend some time for this crocodile in a bath. Yeah, and so the result of your scanning could be also uploaded to a Sketchfab, and you can share it. You can use the augmented reality feature. This is one of the ways you can play with it.
Are there all stills or are there animated ones?
There are also with animation, and it will work with augmented reality. Sketchfab also works in virtual reality. You can, if you have a virtual reality headset, you can then go to a Sketchfab and check this. Don't you mind? I will make a photo.
I don't mind.
Okay. Yeah. So, and you can walk around them or make them huge and like go above like a huge object and check the details, or just play with it like having a strange experience, having a party with a duck and with a crocodile, with alligator in a bath. Sketchfab, yeah. Sergei Rudavin is the guy I know. We met in Kharkiv. He's also from Kharkiv. I'm from Kharkiv too, from Ukraine, and he is scanning some of the objects and selling them to game companies. Like, do you know a Half-Life game and also the virtual reality game? Half-Life Alyx is the version of it in a virtual reality. It's an amazing experience. So Sergei also was working for this project, and some of his assets you can find in a game of a Half-Life Alyx. And I know one of assets, which is a concrete, not a block, a concrete, let's call it concrete block, that he scanned in Kharkiv, and it is now a part of a Half-Life world. Yeah, he was also working with for the project called Stalker, the game, second part, I think. Yeah, and that's what he's doing. That's what he do. Like, he scanning real world objects and then selling it to game companies or like anything else for the advertisement and stuff. And he's really good in the quality. Yeah, you can get inside the 3D model. It's sometimes super cool. Yeah, really. Yeah, so like when you play with in a 3D, with 3D and digital stuff, sometimes artifacts and like mistakes and glitches is the most interesting part. So that's why today I will show you the pipeline that will give you so much artifacts and glitches that it will not anything about like photorealism or something, but you can do it quickly, and it could be quite fun. So let me show it. Here is what we can get. For example, today from a short test, I did this result. This is already an Instagram filter you can play with. This was a short scan of a person, of a Sveta, who did a touch designer workshop. And then I've animated it, added the animation with Mixamo, which I will show you, and then added to augmented reality to a place of art residency. Yeah. So Sergei Rudavin is the guy who is working with it in a very professional way, as you can see. And the software he is using for photogrammetry is called reality capture. So if you want to to understand more advanced stuff and how to make it really something very in a very good quality, then reality capture is my recommendation to play with. It actually doesn't work for Mac. You can use a bootcamp or something to install the Windows and then to use reality capture on this. But if you have a Windows PC, then you can easily install it and like do the photos around the object and upload it to a program, and you will get a 3D model. So it's just to illustrate once again the whole concept of a photogrammetry. any like screenshot from the software will help us to understand. So when you got all these images, for example, in this case it's photos from drone that was flying around and making photos of a house, of a building. Then when you upload into a program, it actually understands the location depending on the object, and then recreating a 3D object like this. And since a real person will like move a lot, and even a small movement like breathing or how to say, blinking and stuff like that is changing a little bit the result. You can, like, if you're doing a long session of like making photos, you will get some artifacts. Well, let me show you some other, like this is the scan we did. It's actually very good for Trinio, for the app we did, but you still can see some of the artifacts there. And maybe even better, you will see it on the screenshot I was showing before. Just a second, I'm thinking where I put it. Okay. Anyway, the idea is that like with Trinio app, if you're moving around, you will get, in a live person, you will get this artifact. So to make it more like in the best quality for a live person, you can use something like this. And there are studios who allow you to do the scan at one moment. So they have all these cameras around, and by one click they're doing photos just at the same moment. So you will get a minimum of like variations of a position of a person and all the other things. So actually this was something we did for the Panther project. If you already visited the Panther project, you've seen some of the footages, 3D objects like this. And this is the result of scanning using this technology. It still was not ideal, and some of the parts of a beer, for example, it was with the texture, with the landscape. The other one were flat, so then I were manually sculpting a little bit, like curving the 3D model to create like a more likely something that could work as a 3D model for the play. So sometimes you need to do the opposite. Sometimes you need to make it flat to simplify it in a way, and it could work even better for some of the results. So it all depends on what you need. And what you're seeing right now is a Blender, which is the 3D editor, like Cinema 4D, for example. And this is one of software when you can then optimize a 3D model, or can like export it to another format, play with textures, like any edits, animate it again. Like Blender is amazing, and it's free. Yeah. So let's go back to this first slide we had. I already mentioned Trinio as an iPhone app. I mentioned Blender as a 3D model. I want to tell you about Mixamo a little bit. So Mixamo is a online service that is currently the product of Adobe, and you can browse some characters and animations, and you can actually upload your character and apply an animation for this character. And they have a library of these animations, so it's like you can see that it's 52 pages, and each page have 48 animations, and any of those animations can be applied to your 3D model. So if you have a 3D model that is good enough for the animation, you can upload it here and apply the animation. The super cool thing about Mixamo that it actually have an algorithm to add skeleton to a 3D model. So if you even don't have like a rigged skeleton, which is the one of the requirements to make a animation, you only have a static like A pose 3D model, as it's called, or the T pose model. You can then upload it to the oh my, damn. You can upload it to a Mixamo, and it will create a skeleton. So I will also show how it works in this pipeline. Yeah. So any of this animation can then be applied when you have a skeleton. And the last software that I wanted to mention is Spark AR. It's a free to use program you need to download and install that allows you to create Instagram and Facebook filters, including the augmented reality objects. So you can you can add a 3D model to a 3D scene. You can publish it as an Instagram filter, and then anyone with iPhone and Android and the Instagram installed will have a possibility, without installation of an additional app or anything else, use the augmented reality. And it could be like a 3D dancing, your digital clone, for example. Yep, so if you need a list of something and you want to get to have an outcome from this session today, I would recommend you to make a photo of the slide to have the links and names of the software that I will show you. Yeah, I will just wait a little bit, and any time I can answer the questions. Yeah.
This filter, this like social media filter, Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook, what this means? So it's not the real filter, isn't it? I don't get it.
Cool. Thanks for a question. I will show you. So the Instagram mask of any kind is an Instagram filter. So the filter is the more general way of saying it. So if you see anyone on Instagram posting in stories, are you using Instagram? Mm-hmm. So you maybe seen the photo, a changed colors, for example, or any 3D object or 2D object that is connected to a face, or even a digital wearables that are also a possibility right now. So these are all filters, AR filters, and to publish those in Instagram, you would need the Spark AR. And let me show you some of the examples. So again, I'm sharing the phone. Let's go to my Instagram, and by going to a story mode, we can go and check this, for example, filter, and it will distort my face, for example. Then the other one will also distort in another way my face. Then the other one, let me switch to this camera and find something like this. And this filter will add a 3D object in the space as an augmented reality. And this is something that is really easy to do. If it's just a simple 3D model that you need to place an augmented reality, Instagram is a super easy platform to publish the effect, and it is also a very easy thing for users to play with. So you can then use QR codes if you want to, and put it on the streets, for example, and then by scanning the code for a user, it will open the Instagram filter. Or you can send a link, or you can just publish to those social media your content, and it will also give a link to a filter. Yeah, so this is not an only option. You can actually do it without Instagram, of course. There are other technologies like, for example, Apple Quick Look. which is so cool. Like, imagine if you, like, okay, let me show you some of example. Like, for example, again, sharing my screen. Maybe you've seen it already, but if you Google something like, oh, not God Dog, sorry, teenage Dog is the other title of it. For example, if you Google dog, you will not only see the general information and photos, but a 3D model. And by clicking on watching 3D, you will open this 3D viewer, but also you can open augmented reality viewer, right? And here it is in the space, or you can make it bigger and again do some content. Okay. Yeah. So this this example uses another technology that is not Instagram, but it is connected, still connected to one of those like big technology companies, Google and Apple. And Google have a technology that called Model Viewer, and Apple have a technology that called Apple Quick Look. And with the Quick Look, the funny thing that they have the 3D format that is called USDZ. And if you save the 3D model in this specific format, you don't need anything else to view the experience. So if, for example, you will send me a file with USDZ with any messenger, it's the same way to photos or any other content, like I'm click on it and it opens in a augmented reality without any like additional application or something. So this is actually very smart way to do, and I think this is the something we will be like dealing with in a future. Like for photos, we don't need like another app to work with photos. It's just when you click on a photo, it open up and you can like play with it. Like you can install like extras for some extra features, but for basic stuff, it's enough. Like the Android iOS or Apple iOS iOS will work to show you the photo. So with 3D models, it's already the same. Only for iPhones for now, but I think this is a logical way to do it. Like you can, if you're sending me a 3D model, I click on it, it opens in a viewer or augmented reality. Yeah. So I've shown you the Instagram filters, and Spark AR looks like something like this. When you have a preview like a phone in a space, in a 3D space, and you can place like a 3D object or something and then publish it as an experience. And it will be available on your Instagram account and other people could also experience it. Yeah, so now let's do the scanning of someone, a view. What do you think about that? It is possible that you will don't have like parts of your body at the end. It is very possible that you will don't have at the 3D model then some parts of your hands or maybe even legs.
I think we can understand because this is not Sveta.
Sveta is standing in as this ideal suit. We were trying to get it like ideal, and she was very still and I was doing it like in a very specific way, and as the result we got something like this from this app. You can see it's not ideal, let's call it this way. But then the first test with this app and Sveta was in a little bit different approach. I just asked her, could you stand here, and did it like without any specific approach, like quick scan, okay, done. Wow, this is actually good enough to show like at least she got all the parts of her body there. So I propose to one of you to become a model for a 3D object. Let's go. And I want to ask you to stand somewhere can you stand here in a T pose like that? Or not T, but A pose like this? Yeah. Okay. You guys see the screen, right? No? The only thing that try not to move at all. Just choose one specific point that you will look at. Okay? And still, the more you try, the it will be a bad result anyway. Okay, so I clicked on it, and then just without like clicking any time, I'm just walking around, and in the video mode, it's just capturing the data, capturing the points, trying to understand how far from each of those points, and you can see in a preview right above the position of the points. Then it is sometimes important to do different scales. For example, I would like to go and scan a head in this. It is sometimes very bad working that. Yeah, like this. And then we'll do the same with this hand. Okay, now it's saying that it is enough and proposing me to upload the data. I'm clicking yes, thank you so much. Scan is safe, so it is different for this app, how much time it takes. I think the first time you install and the first time per day it doesn't take too much, but then if you use it several times a day, the whole process is getting a little bit longer. I think they trying just to minimize this these cases where people with one time like purchasing the app, using it a lot. So they have another version where you can pay for each upload, and the limit's a little bit bigger. Like here at some point app told me that it is enough, like we will not upload to our servers more of the data. Let's work with that. Like, but in the version with a bigger cost, you will get a longer period of scanning, so maybe a better result. Yeah, so let's keep it there. It is currently like uploading images. Sometimes it taking like 5 minutes, sometimes it taking half an hour to get the 3D model. So we will see. Now we have like 2:50 is the time, and let's go and proceed. So at the result in this app you can, and let me show you that, you can export the 3D model. So when you click on any of those models you got, you can not only even export, but you can even edit it. Like for example, this one, we have lots of carpet and parts of this glass table, which looks different. And we could edit, for example, I could rotate a little bit the whole model, like using different perspectives. We will try to make it a little bit more logic, and you can also move it. I like to move it like here, to move it a little, yeah. Okay, and then you can crop it. So if I will rotate it this direction and choose a trim button down below, I can then erase it by just clicking and dragging the parts of this 3D model that I don't need. So now to edit more precise, I would just go and zoom in and move a little and do some more cleaning like this. Yeah. And I think I will not do right now very much like with this specific model, because I just wanted to show you the logic of it. Maybe delete this part only. Yeah. So now we have this kind of model, and let's just check the face of Sveta. Okay, something is wrong. But it's fun. Like, she loved it. I will do the screenshot. Save. Okay, and then if we are happy with the result, didn't I click? No, I clicked save. Okay, so I can then export scan, and I can export it in an OBJ format, and I can also export it in USDZ format, the one I mentioned. Let's actually try to do this. I will export it to USDZ. I will send it to myself in a Telegram, and then I will try to open it in augmented reality like that.
But it's only for Apple, huh? You said.
The USDZ is currently, yeah, it's a format they invented. They designed when they were working on how the studio, Pixar studio. Pixar is a part of a Apple corporation, and for their needs, they've created the format, USDZ format, 3D model. Yeah, so I'm saving it to myself into Telegram, and then just by clicking on the file, I will be able to rotate it as a 3D model without having an app already. And also I can view it in augmented reality. Meanwhile, the Trinio app, yeah, it's scanning, it's uploading. So the thing is happening on the cloud of Trinio. They got my photos and trying to process and generate a 3D model. Yeah, it takes a while sometimes. So meanwhile, can we do something else? Mixamo, for example.
Is there an Android, something for Android?
For scanning?
Expect from reality capture, or is reality capture, how much is reality capture? Do you know that?
Yeah, but reality capture is for desktop, for computers. For the mobile app, there is actually an app, Polygon I think is the name. It should be also for an iPhone. Let's go and check it. I've used it, it works same bad as Trinio, but you cannot expect more from this kind of scanning. Because, you know, for good scanning, they sometimes using a specific LiDAR scanners and specific devices, and then also like a specific lighting and stuff. But if glitches and artifacts is something you're okay with, you can play with this app, Polycam. No, well, Polycam. This one is called, yeah, Polycam 3D scanner. Maybe they called.
Set und ein Buch oder?
No, Trinio is not.
But my phone is also not able to do a lot of things.
Hat er alles groß?
It's an iPhone, okay.
No, it's Android.
It's an Android. Let's go here. Polycam. Well, it's another Polycam.
No,
I
it's
think.
a dash cam.
Huh.
Something different.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are lots of them. Like there, you can search using the photogrammetry or 3D scanning is also a word. Like it always there are some new apps going on, so it is not really, how to say, like so when we have it sent in the Telegram, for example, we can just download the file and see it in augmented reality.
Oh no, I need to figure out.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is still not so good, right?
Yeah, it's now 14 first.
Because we can do a great quality of the screen.
Yeah, and here in the app, the Trinio app, sometimes it's good to go to another page and come back to see the updated status, but as I can see, we are still uploading images, maybe because of a Wi-Fi. Yeah, but since I've sent a file, we can try to download the file, USDZ file. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm creating a new project, deleting everything from the scene, and then importing the OBJ file, because OBJ is something that Trinio is sending. Where is it? Downloads. Somewhere there, model. Yeah, like this. And in Blender, you can, for example, you can do the same thing as you did in a Trinio. If something still you need to change, then you go and edit coordinates, move it, yeah, like this. What else? A little bit here. And then you can be more precise in programs like Blender. Again, currently it is not, it's showing the 3D model without a texture, but if I enable textures after loading, maybe the other view, it will show me all the info there. But here in Blender, for example, I can individually work with it, like any of those polygons, dots and stuff, if I need it. Or like use another way of deleting things. Like, I don't know. Maybe let's go and do the view from up. And then we'll choose all the polygons that we don't need. Like so. And delete it. And also from this part, delete it. Then we will look from another perspective. Maybe this. Delete. Here. Delete. Here. Delete. And we got something. Like, you can be more precise, of course, then. Like, of course, you can do a different type of selection. Then it depends, of course, from the program you are using, what exactly are you doing and what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. So I started, so let me finish this process. And we will upload it then to a mixer mode to add some animation to this. Here. Oh my, sorry. That might be hard. Maybe like this. Okay. Few more here. Let's do some here. Yeah, and we have something. Well, some of the polygons are flying around. Maybe we should remove these two. Parts of Sveta. Okay, here is one more island. Yeah, it's fine. And now, yeah. The only thing I would like to add is maybe to move a so-called origin to bottom part. So now, it's not yet there. Damn, I'm bad without mouse. It's not working for me the same way I want. Yeah, 3D. Okay, let's do it this way as it is. And then I'm just exporting the 3D model in a format. I would use FBX because I know FBX is something Mixamo working with. And yeah, in 3D you get all these like 3D formats of different kind, and you actually do need to understand like 4 or 5 of them and the differences. Like FBX, for example, could contain the animation information and texture, everything in one file. Then object file would only got the information about geometry, but 3D object, but textures and materials will be in another file. So, and like some of the programs could work with FBX and some with GIB or object. So you need, it is better to understand those too. But yeah, let's now go and save the file. For example, Sveta test, export. And now we can go to Mixamo to add some animation to the character. Let's double check what is happening with the Trinio. Here is the screen. So first of all, as I mentioned, we already like exported a USDZ file and sent it to myself to a Telegram. So just by clicking on it, on the last one, it opens the viewer or augmented reality viewer. Yeah, augmented reality by itself. And let's scan the space. Oh yeah, it is big enough. Socks, we have some socks in the space. Yeah, but here it is. Hello. And you can, yeah, you can rotate it. You can do it different size. You can move it.
And could you also fix an object in a place, send it to with the information to the space?
I'm not sure I got it. What do you mean?
Like
Could you-
Pokemon Go?
Could you fix that in this room and then send the information about send the IR with information of the size and place to somebody to go there and look at it there?
Yeah, well, I can't. The short answer, but like there are some startups that are trying to do this. I'm not really believing that it will work in a nearest future. At some point, maybe. But what I can see from working with augmented reality, virtual reality, it doesn't really work with location yet. Also because of how GPS is working, like the location, not sensor, but the information about location of device. Like I was trying to park my scooter somewhere, and I had some like 50 minutes of frustration because according to map I was moving all around the place but not the parking slot, and that's why I wasn't able to park it there. So same to AR, if you even like define the location, the device, it will be hard for device to understand where exactly this location is, because like you're not able to to scan the space, to have this visual information and to tell the device that it is there, because it doesn't like any server doesn't have the information about how the world looks like. Yeah. So that's why it is sometimes easier to use markers.
Like
So-
QR.
No, like any image actually. And let's do this on the next phase. After we will add an animation, I will show you how to fix the 3D object to a marker, a specific marker. So we already optimized a 3D model of Sveta a little bit. And now we can go to Mixamo website. Let me double check the status of the scanning. Okay, so it is uploaded, but it is in the queue for rendering. It is creating 3D already. Okay, so it's in process. So now we go to Mixamo, and we can upload character. Let's maybe use another one for now. Use this character. Some corporation warehouse of a service. But when we will be in a blockchain Web3 mode, which is whole another topic, it will happen in a decentralized cloud on our iPhones in the backgrounds. Not iPhones, but smartphones. Yeah, the Wi-Fi is not so good. So
Maybe try MMZ Book PR. Like we had two Wi-Fis to split the audience.
let's try. Let me try the mobile.
Die noch nicht hier war, wollte ich heute Nachmittag rein in die Performance. Also ich bei dir bei
Wie lange geht die?
eine Stunde.
Oh, eigentlich gar nicht.
Wann denn?
16:30.
Yeah.
Dann 16 Uhr ist es hier vorbei und 16:30.
Und das ist auch wieder der Film, oder?
Genau. Also der Film und dann hat man eben über Smartphone die augmented Figuren.
Yeah, it's not so good neither. But I don't know. What is the other one? It can do it by itself, but sometimes it's not enough information, so you need to place a chain, and then other parts like wrists, for example, propose, like elbows, let's do it here, then knees, and in our case, we don't have a ideal symmetric 3D model, so we will disable use symmetry, and we will use the other knee right here. And then groin here, somehow, maybe we will put it here because like we don't have a separation between legs here because of a 3D model, because of the result of scans artifacts. So yeah, it should be work fine. Let's go and click next. Now Mixamo is trying to create a virtual skeleton, because before this, like, it doesn't know hands and like legs and stuff. So you can actually, okay, error, unknown error while generating motion, the place all, okay, maybe we could try again. Let's do it this way then, and place it here. What about now? Yeah, when you have this glitchy model, it could be tricky for Mixamo to understand what actually you're trying to do with this, like, I don't know the word, the flash, digital something. Yeah. Meanwhile, do we have something with capturing with? Oh yeah, it's done. Okay. Let me show you the screen. iPhone is not on this Wi-Fi. Yeah, let's do this. So, like, all of these settings are usually like something automatic, but when you like move in the perspective, depending on where you look, the perspective, you will get more or less light. So the object will look a different way.
You mean manual control or exposition?
Yeah. The manual control, that is something you need to choose, and then to set a specific parameters so that they would not change during the whole session of scanning. And then you make in a photos, and it is important to understand that you need a photo from different perspective if you scan in the 3D object. Like hand, for example, you not only need this part from above, but also from beyond. And like if you can do like 300, 500 photos for one 3D model, it's absolutely fine. And you will do, for example, from this perspective from lower, then from middle, then from up, and a little bit from above, and then a little bit from the bottom to have the bottom part. Like a head, for example, to get this part, you will take this perspective. So like more information is better. And then, of course, it is very important for a person or 3D object to stay super still. Yeah, so what kind of trash content we have in that scanning? Oh my, let me show you what we have. It's actually not so bad at all. Yeah, let's see what is happening with fingers. Just a second. Here it is. Here is amazing hand.
Could you send this object to 3D printer and print like a
Yeah.
small toy for yourself?
Yeah, you can, of course, you can. So they have, of course, they have another format of a file to do this. STL, I think, is the common.
That's interesting.
So you can export it from a Blender file. If you have a super paid version of a Trinio, you can export it in this version too, but you can easily export it in OBJ, but then resave it into STL and then send it to a printer. Or you can just share the 3D model to guys who know how to work with 3D printers, and they could then work with it, because maybe they will need to add some additional surfaces at the bottom part to make it a figure, right? And maybe to delete something, to delete some holes from here, because I didn't have any photos. Here it is. I know it's a texture, it's not actually a hole or something. So you have a holy, how would call this part? Yeah. Okay, so this is actually quite good. Let's check what is happening with face now, right? It's still not so bad, but yeah, you have additional accessories and
ears.
deformation. Yeah, additional ears. Yeah.
Put my icon on it. Nice to see.
Yeah, so you can export it. You can also do a little video for social media. Let me. Do you have the not the airdrop? The how it called? Airdrop, right? No, not maybe. Yeah, then let me send it to myself in a MacBook, and to open it in the screen, so you would see how the video of just rotation is rendered, and this is something you can easily then share into social media. Um, stopping sharing the screen. Again, I'm sharing to my MacBook. And where it is asking? Oh, here it is. Receiving a video. Ah, yeah, here it is already. Oh, yeah. Now it's rotating from a different, like, the point, the program Trinio thinks that the center of the 3D model is in a different place. So we need to change it. The same way we work with... Yeah, it's also beautiful, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so meanwhile, after the auto rigging from Mixamo, our 3D model is there of Sveta. We can do the same thing with your 3D model. And then after it is uploaded, we can apply any of those animations. Like there are actually also different groups of animations. Superhero, for example. And let's choose a swinging or flying knee punch combo.
It's from Mortal Kombat game, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so you can now download, and we can use the same format FBX, because FBX include the animation information. And if you download this, even since we don't see the texture there, but after like downloading and open it in Blender, I think we will see it in the Blender. So Sveta punching me for doing this with her. Okay. This is saved. And now in Blender, for example, because like we can then upload it somewhere else, but I'm just love to check everything in Blender. I know this program more than others. Like we will delete these and then import the FBX model in the download. Sveta punching me for doing this with her. Yeah, import. Enabling textures. Here it is. Animation will be preloading, so slowly it works. So the texture is still there. Yeah. And now we can add her to an Instagram filter, for example, if we want to. And for this task, we would need another program that's called Spark AR. Let's close it and start from the beginning of this process. So I will quit this program here. Now discard. And I will open it again. Where is it? Here it is. So Spark AR have lots of templates for different things. So you can track the object to your face, you can track the object to a surface, you can also track the object to a marker. I think this is the template we need to track it to marker. Sharing effect. Yeah, and again, I'm not telling about every specific program in deep, just showing the possibilities, but generally you can use this template and replace the marker, and you can also replace the 3D model. So let's try to replace the marker first, and maybe we could use some of the photos somewhere. Oh no. Maybe Panther. I don't know what should we use for that. Maybe let's do this. Let's choose a marker in the space so we then can try to do it. For example, the advertisement of this beautiful cafeteria. So after taking a photo, I will just cut it a little bit. Like this. Do I have actually a possibility to change the... No, I don't think so.
Rotation.
Huh?
Rotation.
Not rotation, but to take a bottom part and make it wider.
Geometry.
Yeah, this thing.
I'm sure that you could-
Ah, it's okay. It should be working this way too. So now I can, what I can do, I can share it, I can send it to a MacBook, right? Where is it? Here it is. And in the Spark AR, we can now replace it. It is somewhere in downloads. Yeah, but the format is wrong. It wants to use it in JPEG. How to convert it? How to convert anything to anything? Just Google this format, like HEIC to JPEG, or if you want to convert like JPEG to PDF, it also works. There are lots of online converters. Sometimes it works with 3D, not always, but yeah. Let's try HEIC to JPEG. So the upload this file. Yep. And now I will download it as JPEG. It will be calling a marker. It will be called marker. Now let's go to Spark AR, and now I think we can find this file. I hope. No, not yet. Double check. Maybe I've saved it in a marker zip. Why the heck does it have zip? Okay, now it's here. So at Spark AR, we can now use the file as marker. Okay, marker is replaced, and now we need to replace the 3D model. So how did we call it? It is Sveta who's punching me for doing this with her, right? Sveta, where is it? Downloads. Sveta FBX. Sveta test, Sveta punching. Okay. And we just drag and drop into Spark AR. It is loading here. Then we will need to, because by default it will not be moving, I think. Let's check. Triangle can't exceed recommended limits. It's okay. So we will move the 3D file here. Okay. We will delete the original 3D model. And the only thing we need to do is to scale Sveta a little bit. It will be 0.3. 0.3. Maybe move a little bit down. Okay. And forward. Let's double check it from different perspectives. Yeah, it should be fine. But she is not moving, so we need to add an animation, and for this thing we need to add animation playback control. this tutorial how to add animation from Mixamo to Spark AR you can find on YouTube, by the way. And when it's here, I can apply an animation here and she will be moving and punching me right in the face. Yeah, so now when I set everything up, I can send this file to Instagram. And after uploading, it will give me a notification to Instagram that it is ready to check. So I will open and see it there to test. Then for publishing, there are a few more steps to do. But it's easy to Google and find. To test, it will be enough. Yeah, so, but at the end we will get something like the result I showed. Where it is? Something like this. You just need to wait. Oh, I got a notification. Let me again screen share. It says that we need to test. It is a testing version. Now, when it is scanned, she is here, flying from this marker from the advertisement and kicking me for everything I do. Ah, it is so strange that she moves in the direction I move. Yeah. And I can do a photo and post it somewhere, or I can do even a video. Let's check. Yeah, but for publishing I need to for publishing story I need to publish the Instagram filter, but I can download the video file. Yeah, so that is all. To recap, I just want to tell you that we were working with 4 programs. I can understand that it is an overwhelming information. That's how I designed it and thought to planned to do it. I just wanted to show you lots of different things, so you understand that like Trinio is something you can scan the person with, for example, and there are lots of other apps and ways to do that. Then you can apply the animation if you want some of the default animation from Mixamo, that you can do it using this service. And then Blender, one of those programs that you can edit anything in 3D. And then Spark AR is software to publish, to edit the Instagram filter, to publish it and share it with your friends. Yeah. Any questions?
Is it possible to scan only the face or some other body parts?
Oh yeah.
And then you can have like a sculpture type?
Oh yeah, there are like so much of other ways to do this. Like for example, Ready Player Me is quite an interesting startup that allows you to do lots of things, including creating an avatar. And one of the features is like creating an avatar from a photo of your face. So capture, share your avatar. Download image. No, it's not the thing. My avatars. Create new avatar. Create new avatar. feminine. Take a photo. Allow my camera to make a photo. Accept. Okay. At some point he will create a 3D model. They have like several versions of it. So in this version they creating a 2D character. Okay, they understood that I have glasses, which is super cool. Then I can edit it. But the other way, they also had, maybe they already closed this feature, but they used the photo as a texture and put it on a 3D model. It was looking very creepy, that's why maybe they not using it. I don't know. Take a foot, continue without photo, take a photo. Let's try with masculine. Okay. Then the other program for that is Avatar SDK. They have a demo, but it's a paid version. And they doing this quite well actually. But there was a hint how you can download the result.
And what if I just use this Polycam app, do like a body scan, and then just erase everything
Yeah.
in Blender, and then
Yeah.
I would have like a sculpture type.
Yeah, this too. Then the most realistic and inspiring thing for me is MetaHuman. It is a service of creating a digital characters for Unreal Engine, which is a game engine, and they have an amazing results and super lots of parameters, and characters could look something like this. And they have this interface where you can set different things like skin color and like shape of every detail of the face and lots of other things. Here you can see the preview. And then you can put it into Unreal Engine and create a game or a situation where you like with the digital content around, and there is a digital influencers market and situation happening, like how this guy is called, Blue. Yeah, this is one man who is doing everything for his show. He created the avatar, and he have a full body suit for capturing movements, and an iPhone for tracking the face. Then of course the Unreal Engine setup, and everything is actually rendered in real time, which is super cool. And that's how he have this possibility to iterate a lot and to create something very fast. And he's doing a show in the YouTube from this digital influencer Blue, and he's talking about metaverse as a new generation of internet, but everything is connected into virtual worlds, and like 3D avatars is going to parties and network in 3D spaces. So maybe this information could somehow help you to also to play with these things, because then when you have a 3D model, if you're happy with it, you can use it as avatar on one of those metaverses like Mozilla Hubs, for example. Can create a virtual room and invite your friends, and you will be hanging out in the virtual environment, and you can change your avatar so you can upload your 3D model. So here are some of the avatars they have, but I think here is the place where you can use the link and to set the avatar you're using. So, but you need to host it somewhere. Yeah, but then you can walk in these virtual spaces and develop some interesting art projects like we did. For example, this space is a art center in a way. It was created with 5 more curators of digital art, media arts, and we've developed several exhibitions that are available right now, and we can meet there in these exhibitions and go use those portals to visit the spaces. And some of the spaces actually have avatars, 3D avatars, as a part of the experience and as an artwork itself. So this is interconnected to a topic of a digital identity or multiple identities, how we can manage those. Yeah, and Mozilla Hubs is only one of those possibilities and one of those platforms where you can travel with your avatars and see other avatars. Here, exactly, here are the avatars. So let's use the pink rabbit, and now we can place a camera in the space, and here we can see in a selfie ourselves. Let's put it somewhere here. Yeah, and make a photo, for example. Yep. So you can scan yourself as only a hat, and then you will be flying as your hat in the space. You can make it bigger, or you can be a transparent ghost-like avatar. But if the nicknames are on, then there will be a nickname flying around. Yeah. Anything else? That is the key.
What's the name of the software you showed at the beginning was OpenGL, yeah?
Cables GL. Cables.gl.
Okay.
Ah, yeah, here for scanning I would need a phone. Actually, don't want to do this. But the logic of this service is the same. You're like uploading the photo and it generates a avatar. Male, female, or only a head, or head with shoulders. But to download you need to pay. So like, it's still, you have more and more possibilities when you know these programs like Blender 3D or something. Then you can do anything. You can just take your photo, take a template male head, and then project your photo on this head, and you will get something like this. And then move around things.
Just with the photo. Right.
For example, like, yeah.
When you use it, when you create this Instagram filter, you place it here, and it's like a PNG. Could have like, what's it called, like free space, or the word is missing. Like when there's nothing, even, you know, when you
Transparency?
transparency is thanks. So when you would load this into After Effects or DaVinci Resolve, would this also be transparent? Or is it even possible to load some video like this into like post-production software? Or do you have to render it out via Blender first?
Yeah, via something. Like, for me it would be a Blender. Then I could choose the virtual camera, set up the virtual camera, set up everything, for example, transparency, create a render with for example, with a sequence of PNGs to get more result, like to get better quality, or even sequence of TIFF files, and to import it to DaVinci or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.